What's going on, fellow HOKA fanboys? It's Travis. We are back with another hero's journey. We are opening my favorite pair of HOKA shoes, the Kahas. Now, so far in my shoe journey to fix my plantar fasciitis, I've spent way too much money and way too much time to figure this out. So far, the #1 fixture has been these HOKA Recovery Flips. These are basically the saving grace. These are a brand new pair right here. I did an unboxing on these as well. HOKA, I love you guys, but you seem to kind of change your models a little too abruptly. So by the time we find something we like, you change it and then it's different. So now I'm like, oh. That is kind of what I fear has happened with the HOKA Kahas. There's the Kaha 2s, because I have a pair of Kahas and they're getting worn out, I need a new pair. They have the Kaha 2s. Here's the Kaha 2s right here. These are very nice, but look at this. Look at that heel. That's a big heel. What they did is they kind of made this Hubble heel, which was on the Tennines. They basically made a smaller version of that on these. I don't know if I like it or not. I'm still figuring it out, but I mean, I kind of quoted the Tennine shoes as being kind of Jar Jar Binks. These, they've toned it down a bit, but it still kind of feels like you're Jar Jar Binks walking around. And you know, these, like I said, these are the Kaha 2s, so these are an improvement over these. And I basically got super nervous and was like, crap, I gotta get some more of these Kahas before they never exist anymore. Because so far, these are the only shoes I can wear that I can walk around for an hour and my feet aren't killing me afterwards. So yeah, it's fun, first world problem type stuff. So I picked up 2 pairs of black and tan. These have actually been super sold out for months and months, and I've been meaning to get either of these. And then one day I looked on the site and they were there. They actually had all the original colors. I kept an eye on them, and then I noticed they were slowly selling out of sizes. And I was like, dude, I'm not gonna screw this up. If they've ruined the Kaha, let me at least get another year to 2 out of like a good shoe. Like a moment of clarity / panic, and ordered them. I was like, all right, screw it. I'm gonna spend, you know, these are expensive shoes. I mean, these are $220 for a pair of these, and they are Gore-Tex. They do have Vibram soles, etc. So they're really high quality, but they're kind of expensive. You gotta pay to play. Let's get these bad boys open. So I wanna start with the tan version because these are kind of potentially the coolest HOKA shoes in the entire HOKA lineup. They're kind of like deserty, like army shoes that you see, like the classic army desert shoe. Very tan, they call it Oxford Dune or something. It doesn't say on the box here. Let's do it. Oh boy. Wow. There we go. Oh my Lanta. Woohoo! These are pretty good. If that isn't a beautiful shoe, I don't know what is. Oh my Lord. That is really nice. That is really nice. Wow. So, as you can see in front of me, I have the Kahas, not the Kaha 2s. Let me show you what I was talking about earlier about this heel. Here's the 2 shoes. Look at this Kaha 2 heel. They call it the Hubble Swallow. That sounded weird. There you go, there's the joke for the episode. The Hubble Swallow heel, and this is more of a traditional kind of rounded heel. Now it doesn't seem that crazy different like on the camera, but even here you can see it ends up being like a pretty big extension on the back of the shoe. And this is what the Tennine did, which I have a review if you look up my channel or just type in HOKA Tennine. The theory was when you're going downhill, it kind of helps stabilize you. And in theory as well, you would think like, oh, like a nice extended heel that would help kind of walking, and it kind of goes on how their shoes work, where it's pretty much like a rounded walk, which in theory sounds good, but what happens, it ends up kind of feeling like a little sloppy and just like kind of too much heel. And then when you're driving or just even just chilling, the heel, it just gets in the way a little bit. So let's see, it's picking on the A7 III here. So if both shoes are planted down, you can see these are the same size. Here's a little comparison. It extends out a good little bit, and it kind of has this, like, they call it a swallow. It's like a surfboard SwallowTail. You can see right there. In theory, it sounds good, but it ends up just kind of being there. Like, you can tell there's a little more going on in the back of the heel. I mean, look at it. It ends up extending an extra, you know, like almost an inch. So you have an extra inch behind you. Again, I wasn't that thrilled when I saw this in the store. This is from REI, thank you REI. But it did feel a teeny bit wider. And wearing it in the store, walking around, I also wore a pair of these brand new in the store. To be honest, it felt better. And I was like, all right, like maybe I'll give this Hubble heel thing one more chance. These have been going good, but in the end, they do still feel a little Jar Jar Binks-esh. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And so far, these have been the perfect shoe for me. I have seen the fix in terms of the shoe besides the recovery sandal, my plantar fasciitis, and just being able to walk an hour without just being in extreme pain during the walk, after the walk, etc. Nice up close here. They're super light for being like a boot. It feels like you're just carrying a shoe. And then also what's cool is these are Gore-Tex, so they are waterproof. And like I like to walk around, and then I'll go on the beach sometimes. I'll just like walk through like muddy or rock areas, also on the concrete, but it's nice just to have like that added kind of layer of just to keep sand out and dirt out and moisture and water out. Even when you're not planning on going on a crazy hike, you'll just more often than not maybe step in some grass or something. And it's nice to have that kind of Gore-Tex layer, which I also will give a quick little story about. The Gore-Tex really breathes super well for being a Gore-Tex like waterproof membrane. Because in the shoe, you'll see when I open this up, there's like a booty basically, which is the Gore-Tex lining. But there's like a booty in here. When you put your hand in here, you can feel that it's a little different than the material that's not included. Even though it is, like I said, waterproof, it's really not that hot. Like I even had a video shoot in basically the desert, and it was 100 degrees. I was wearing my other Kahas, and actually let me grab those real quick just to prove a point here. So I've had these for about going on 8 months now. And like I was saying, I wore these in 100 degrees desert weather in California, and my feet weren't hot. Like I was not thinking like, oh, my feet are hot, or oh God, they're sweating. They performed great. Like it wasn't even a thing. It was just, oh, I'm just wearing normal shoes, and it wasn't an intense, oh, these are super duper hot. It was fine. So that kind of proved to me that you can wear these in any weather and be fine. Like they don't get super duper hot. And I'd rather my feet be comfortable than too hot. So these are currently my favorite shoes that I own in my whole shoes. And because they are high tops, you do have to wear kind of higher socks. I mean, once they break in a little bit, you can kind of wear whatever socks. You're not going to get too scruffed by these. But really my go-tos are the Injinji finger socks, and then like their mid-length is perfect. It goes like right above. So I just wear the mid-length Injinji socks, and they literally go up right above. So it's like a perfect little combo. Is these and these. Even in the hotter weather, it's not too bad. So these still have some life left in them, but even when I had these compared to the Kaha 2s, the treads are getting a little, you know, a little flatter, and it's just, basically these days a shoe lasts about a year, you know, eight months to a year, and then it still works, but once you put on a new shoe, you realize that, oh crap, this shoe's getting old. My whole point of getting, you know, more Kahas while I still have a pair is because, like I said, HOKA, you seem to have a track record of you change the shoe to the new model, which, you know, it is what it is. We change the model of shoes. That's how new items work. You make changes. But if some change is too drastic, you know, certain fans of the one model are gonna get left behind. And because I'm kind of wearing these more so as an orthopedic type deal, like a shoe doctor or something, I kind of panicked and I was like, all right, well, these are back in stock and I'm gonna, Jesus. You almost saw like a huge catastrophe. Finally, I have a shoe that I can wear that doesn't destroy my feet. I mean, I'm not exaggerating when it's been years and years of buying shoes. I don't really buy that many shoes, but it was like I'd have shoes in my shoe archive to wear, and I really would only have one pair that I could wear, and others would be like for special occasions, and I would wear them, and then after wearing the other shoes, my feet would just be killing me for a few days, and it kind of sucks to only have one pair of shoes you can wear without any foot pain. So I was like, all right. So my new method is if I have a model I like or a thing I like, have a backup. Have a backup, because the company will change the model, you know, something's gonna happen and you're gonna be left stranded without your go-to item. And I guess it's a little bit of a lack of abundance mindset, which isn't good. You know, there's abundance in this world, but I saw these back in stock and I was like, you know what, screw it. And again, looking at these in person, these might be the coolest boots I've ever seen in my life. I mean, good Lord, these are freaking awesome. I think we can all agree. So I think why the Kahas work great for me is because they have all the arch support. They're plush and they have like the most extreme cushion HOKA offers. The 6mm drop of the heel to toe. And then because of the Vibram sole, it ends up being like a harder sole. So you can really stomp around, and I think that actually just helps me personally. So it seems excessive, but so far these have been the go-to. So let's check out the black editions. These are the black HOKAs, and you guys we're getting this opening experience same time I am. Here we go. Oh wow. HOKA, why'd you have to change this? Wow. The blacks are sick. Oh my God, look at these. Look at these. That is yeah, that's a nice looking shoe right there. So again, these are, and HOKA is not sponsoring this video. It's just straight up me trying to scoop up all the Kahas I can before they completely revamp it, and the Kaha 2 Jar Jar being special, reign supreme, and then us Kaha original guys are out of luck. The goal was to, you know, get a couple pairs of these for the next year-ish. I have free of foot pain. That's the hopeful goal. There is the low top Kaha. One thing I've realized with high tops or mid tops, which is kind of nice, especially when you have a higher sole, like the Kaha or any HOKA really, especially the ones that are the max thickness. You gotta be actually careful about rolling your ankle. It did happen to me one time on the Bondis, where it's just such a high instep. You're so high up, and then if there's not an ankle thing, you're just so high up that it's almost like we're in a platform shoe, and it's kind of easy to just roll your ankle over if you're not careful. And I think I kind of slipped off a rock or like a sidewalk, and my foot kind of like went over. Luckily, nothing too bad happened, but when that happened, I was like, oh crap, like that was a close call. What I like about the higher ankle support and help with these Kahas is when you're walking around, it's dark or just there's rocks and stuff, you don't have to be as mindful of where you're stepping. You can just kind of be trekking down and then not have to worry, because it really does secure your ankle very nicely. And it ends up being like a kind of like a nice ankle protector. So it's kind of like a stereotypical basketball shoe, and whereas it's helping your ankle not roll as much. What's cool too about the Kahas is like, even though it is leather, it doesn't really feel like it. It's kind of like almost like a suede leather, and it has like a little bit of a, like I said, a suede feel to it, where it's not necessarily like a rough leather that kind of, it's like a very smooth velvety, that's the word, it's velvety. And then up here you have like a nice, this part isn't leather, this part's a little more, I guess, like synthetic material that's like mesh, like a normal mesh, but it ends up being a good combination between the leather and this mesh right here. The secret's out. If you are a HOKA fan and you are a fan of these Kahas, I would jump on it right now, because they are moving on to the Kaha 2s, which, I don't know, HOKA, it's a little more of a Jar Jar Binks shoe, and these are just like a classic, like, this is like a boot you could really just wear anywhere. I mean, you can wear this to, you can wear these to like a wedding, you can wear these to a recital, you can wear these to a club, you can wear these anywhere. And I mean, same with these, they're just very nice classic looking shoes that, again, they're not even like that tall, and when you're wearing them, you don't feel like you're wearing that much of a high top. This really ends up being perfect. Even on the Kaha 2s, they kind of changed it a little bit, where it has this kind of like separated part about the Achilles tendon, which this is actually one of the things I really like about these is when you get into these shoes, it's a lot easier to put your foot in. Not a lot easier, but a little easier, because you can, it opens up a little more. And then this part actually is pretty cool, and it comes down a little lower. So it's a teeny bit lower in terms of the back of the shoe, the height. So these end up kind of being even more of a mid-length shoe. They do weigh, I think it's an ounce less than these. I mean, you pick them up, you can't really tell, but they do weigh a little less. The Kaha 2s also have some recycled material in them, which is kind of nice. There's a couple things, the lacing system's a little different. So there's like different areas on the lacing where you have like extra eye holes in the bottoms. And then the top, they kind of like made these a little thicker and a little more durable. But yeah, y'all, I appreciate everyone tuning in for another unboxing on Heroes Journeys. This has been the Kaha by HOKA, One One, my go-to company for feet and trying to save my feet before they forever are destroyed. So, thank you for tuning in to another Hero's Journey. Till next time, peace.